All right, guys, let's get into the main event tonight. Donald Trump, who is probably living it up. You know, he's eating a good dinner right now. Why? Because he is not in jail. And it's Tuesday. The clock is ticking. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a watch. You know what I'm saying? But the clock is ticking, you know? He said he was going to be in jail. He's not in jail. I could definitely see why they wouldn't throw him in jail because them protests was already about to get started, I believe. But I don't know. We're about to see some updates, possibly on what was going on today with the case. We have a video here of DeSantis pretty much defending Trump. If you guys don't know, he's Florida's governor, and pretty much if Trump doesn't run, or even if he does run, DeSantis will be pretty much the second runner-up to Trump, just so you guys know. So let's get into a few of these updates and everything like that, and then we'll kind of see what DeSantis had to say. So we'll start about 5 hours ago. Let's see what's going on like that. Now it says DA charges may not help Trump's campaign, but they could unify Republicans. It's interesting. We've got a nice Republican right here. You already, I could just tell. I could just tell I'm playing. Not obviously he's a Republican. You know what I'm saying? You guys know I'm not even a Republican or a Democrat. I'm really more of a conservative, but I lean more Republican. But I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a Republican, but I definitely lean way more there. So I'm on the Republican side. That doesn't mean I'm a fan of Trump, but if I have to choose Trump over Sleepy Joe, I'll probably roll the dice on Trump. Honestly, our economy's got to survive. Now. It says the possible indictment of Trump by the Manhattan District Attorney may not directly boost a Republican former president's White House bid, but it could unite GOP voters in outrage, a Republican strategist told CNBC. Now it said, while it's unknown which specific charges are being considered by the Manhattan grand jury, yeah, I would like to see exactly what these charges are. I know it has to do, obviously, with this P-Star being paid off $130,000 by Donald Trump's possible team, possibly the Republican Party or his candidate, his party for his candidacy and everything like that. But like I said, I'm not sure exactly what the official charges or anything are of this. Now it says, built on a charge of falsification of business records related to a hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. To Republicans who see that as merely a misreported campaign contribution from nearly 7 years ago, it looks like nothing more than a partisan hack job. Republicans are going to be enraged if Trump, like Lil Pump, is indicted on these grounds, he said. This is going to offend even Trump's biggest critics in the Republican Party. I think he's basically saying at this point, it seems like he's saying hey guys, even people who don't like Trump, but they do like the Republican Party, this has them even more on Trump's side because he's saying they're like, hey, these are ridiculous charges. Why are you pulling these out right now? What's going on? Everything like that. Oh, wow, those Democrats, you know what I'm saying? Those pesky Democrats, and kind of in their outrage, enemies can still become friends. You know what I'm saying? What is it? The friend of my enemy, what is it? The enemy of The enemy of my enemy is my friend. There we go. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Kind of one of those things. Now they said, I don't think it makes him more likely to be the nominee, but it adds ammunition to his case that the Democrats are willing to break any norm to try to undo the 2016 election. Oh, see, going back to the 2016 election, I was thinking he was thinking more to the future, like the future presidency as Trump is running in 2024. I don't think the Democrats or Democrats are so worried about the 2016 election. That was literally 8 years ago. But to each his own. Maybe there are some Democrats out there that are just like, 2016. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel that. If anything, I feel like Republicans would be like, well, I'm tired of Democrats being on this. And then, you know what I'm saying, possibly side with Trump even though they wouldn't have wanted to. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. And we all know, what's up with this whole case, though. You know what I'm saying? And everything like this. Is Trump guilty? Is he not? Like, there's the whole, you know what I'm saying, he grabbing booty in the store. There's that case as well, where I'm like, hey, like, Trump kind of seeming like a menace out here. I can't lie. Like, Trump kind of seeming like a menace. Like, so you still got to be held accountable. It's not like we can't not hold this man accountable if he did these things. Of course, allegedly. I'm just saying. You can't be like, well, you know what I'm saying, he's the president. He's running in the future. Like, so none of this happened. Like, that's not how it works. Now it says Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's ties to billionaire George Soros aren't as close as the Republicans claim. It says as Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg inches closer to bringing a possible indictment against Trump, Republicans have launched a barrage of attacks against the Democratic District Attorney and his ties to Democratic donor George Soros. Republican Elise y'all know I like to try to say the word, so I'm going to try to say it. Stefanik. I like that. Yeah, Stefanik, a New York Republican and the party's fourth-ranking leader in the House, tweeted Monday that Bragg took $1 million from George Soros. Now, Senator J.D. Vance, an Ohio Republican whose 2022 campaign received millions of dollars in support from GOP mega donor and investor Peter Thiel, said in a tweet that Alvin Bragg is bought by George Soros, a very high level of I'm trying to think of the word. You guys know the word, though, where basically you give money to politicians and then companies give money to, wow, it like popped in my head and popped out. But you guys know where companies give a lot of money to, you know, politicians to get them to push policies in certain ways that will be advantageous to said business. We know a lot of that, for instance, in the firearms business. They do that all the time. What is it? The NRA? Yeah, the National Rifle Association is constantly feeding Republicans with money, and you know what I'm saying, people who would be likely to vote in the way that they would want, they're feeding them with money every year, and they have year after year after year, and that kind of helps them push policy, you know? Now it says, but the reality of Bragg's links to Soros don't entirely match the picture painted by Republican lawmakers, who are trying to draw a link between the men to discredit the probe. According to records and people familiar with both men, a Soros advisor who declined to be named to speak openly about private matters has never met or spoken to Bragg. I mean, that's an advisor. Like, oh, he said the billionaire. Okay, I was about to say, I was like, that's the advisor. Maybe the advisor hasn't. But he said that the advisor says he's never spoken or talking to him. Interesting. It's crazy because this all has to do with Donald Trump. Now, Trump ally Bob Costello takes credit for grand jury timeout. As you guys know, like, pretty much it essentially got pushed back is what happened. So that's what I think they mean by this timeout here. And by getting pushed back, Donald Trump wasn't arrested. You know, court was held, and, you know, all the people that went out there to rally were probably like, all right, let me go and get my jacket because I'm going to have to come back another day, because they're going to have to come back another day. I knew this wasn't really going to pop off like that. I was like, maybe it'll pop off, but I knew it really wasn't going to pop off like that because Trump rallied his troops. He told them to come at a specific date. They were worried about it the day before, so it was like, if you already know that basically there's going to be a problem, everything like that, we don't know. There could be violence. There could be Trump fans versus, you know what I'm saying, everybody else. Trump fans versus the world. You know what I'm saying? It could get violent. It could have been a bad situation. So I think it was just smarter, and everyone knew that, you know what I'm saying, it probably wasn't the best time. So I just think, like, if I was in charge, I would definitely be like, guys, we're going to just figure out, we're going to get with Trump's office. If we want to pick him up and arrest him, we're going to just do this kind of privately and everything like that. We're not going to let him control the narrative. We're going to control the narrative. That way, when we're trying to pick him up, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, there aren't, you know, people rioting in the streets, breaking businesses, you know, destroying cars, storming the White House. Let's not forget the last time Trump called people to rally, they stormed our White House. I still don't know why that's not such a big deal to people, but hey, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just storm the capital of one of the, if not the largest essentially, or more, one of the most powerful nations in the world. You know what I'm saying? The citizens just stormed the Capitol with little repercussions. I mean, like 1,000 people got arrested, but you guys know what I mean. Still, like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Now, it says, let's see here. Let's see. Trump ally Robert Costello says he believes his testimony trying to discredit Michael Cohen to a grand jury earlier this week. Oh, okay. So he was doing it earlier this week. Led Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg to tell the panel's members to take the day off. He said prosecutors must now decide whether they want to rely on Cohen's testimony in seeking an indictment against Trump. The case rests on whether the Trump organization improperly classified a payment to Cohen as a legal expense. It was a reimbursement for a $130K check, which, he gave Peace Star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election to stay quiet about a sexual encounter she had with Trump in 2006. So this encounter was actually in 2006. And it says that the Trump organization essentially classified this payment to her as a payment to Cohen as a legal expense when really that money was given to Stormy Daniels. Which is interesting because it's like, Stormy Daniels, you coming out here and you was allegedly got paid $100,000 under the table that you probably didn't have to pay no taxes on or nothing. But I guess, I don't know, maybe it'll say something as to why she hates him so much. She probably felt like she didn't get paid enough. Probably. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just an ugly situation. Very unprofessional. Like, why do we... Our nation is just embarrassing at this point. Like, come on. Now it says, unless Bragg and prosecutors are motivated by political prejudice, I think the DA now has to call out a timeout and decide if they can go forward with this case and its witness. If prosecutors are reasonable and honest based on my testimony and press conference comments, they should be having second thoughts about moving forward. I think I threw a wrench in their monkey works. Wow. Okay. Now it says Costello told reporters after his testimony that Cohen on his own made a hush money payment to Stormy Daniels before the 2016 presidential election. So he's saying, like, maybe it wasn't even Donald Trump that was out here being nasty. He's saying maybe it was Cohen himself who was out here being nasty. Now he said he is totally unreliable, who said that under oath he paid Daniels in at the behest of Trump. He said Monday night scoffed at Costello's claims, telling MSNB host Ari Melber so many things he said were untrue. The NBC reported prosecutors from Bragg's office were very upset about Cohen's interview, and they contacted his lawyer, Lanny Davis, to have him tell Cohen he should not appear on TV. Not appear on TV anymore. So he can't appear on TV anymore. So they're bringing the grand jury back Thursday after the day off that we spoke about earlier. Now it says the Manhattan District Attorney's Office on Thursday plans to bring back the grand jury that will consider whether to indict Trump. So, you know what I'm saying? They off today. They off on Wednesday. But Thursday is back. Thursday we see if Trump going to jail or not. like gosh, it's like the United States, like, I feel like I said, like, I feel like this is like a bad girls club. It's like bad politicians club. Like, what is this? Like, we're let's see if our president's going to jail. Like, I don't want to be having to say that, but I got to say that, Now it says the plan was to close by sources hours after grand jurors were unexpectedly given the day off for reasons that were not clear. Right, they saw those protesters outside and they were like, nope. They were like, today is not the day. We do not need another storming of the Capitol because Donald Trump's getting arrested. We saw what happened last time. We're going to schedule this for another day. We're going to speak to his representatives in private, and we're going to handle this in a professional manner where they're on a whole bunch of people with picket signs and American flags on as capes with a shirt off walking through these Manhattan streets. You know what I'm saying? Now it says the panel can convene on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, but prosecutors are not required to hold sessions on those days. The grand jury heard testimony on Monday from Bob Costello, who we just spoke about. He was the legal advisor, as we know, to Michael Cohen, the fixer for Trump. As we know. Now here's the last thing. Let's see what it says. Oh, this is pretty much a summary of that and everything like that. Basically talking about the money. So this is pretty much what's going on. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens tomorrow and everything like that. Now, we also know DeSantis had a little bit to say, so let's just take a little time and check out what's going on with this. We can see here's our boy Donald Trump. If you guys don't know, DeSantis is Trump's, he's basically not Trump's. He's the Republican Party's basically the second person that will be running for president. He is a senator, or the governor of Florida and everything like that. And if Trump does not win, or if Trump ends up in prison, then DeSantis will be that guy. So let's see what's going on with this. And let's see what he had to say in his defense of Trump. He probably wanted to kind of be like defenseful of Trump, and show his support and not kind of anger the Trump fans while not giving him too much credit because, if it does come down between them two, he probably wants to win. He does want to win. But he hasn't ran yet. But you guys know, hey, if all the people think you're that guy for president, you got to step up, and that's probably what's going to happen. Let's see what it says, though.
Jonathan Turley and even President Trump said that the statute of limitations has expired on this. It happened, 7 years ago? Robert Costello, who once worked as a legal advisor to the star witness, Michael Cohen, also a very prominent lawyer, former U.S. attorney, he did appear in front of the grand jury, and he said, I did tell them this. They didn't want to hear it, but I did tell them. Michael Cohen called me and said, I need to talk to you. He said he's been very suicidal. He was worried about him. He said, I don't want to go to jail. I'll do anything. I don't want to go to jail. He said, well, what do you have on Donald Trump? And he said, I really don't have anything. He said he continuously told him, I don't have anything. So he's wondering why now all of a sudden does he have something on
Right. I would say this is a total joke. If he decides to indict a president for the first time in our 230-plus year history, it is a total farce.
As it turns out, the president would...
Why? Why is that a total farce? I want to know why. Don't just say it's a total farce. Basically, the why he had was because he's a president and because it's been a long time. Do presidents not commit crimes? Are presidents no longer allowed to get arrested? Are they immune from crimes or something? I need more. I need more from you. We need answers. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You got to come with something stronger than that for us.
Not be the first president ever arrested, because we read this morning that Ulysses S. Grant was once arrested for riding a horse too fast in Washington.
Was he had no PPA cards to get him out of it? I'm surprised. Because I would have definitely flashed.
This man was riding a horse too fast.
This is a big story. Piers Morgan, our friend, got a great exclusive yesterday with Ron DeSantis. And what he does, I'm just going to read the headline. Ron hits Don. He criticizes the president's chaos, lack of character, and Piers started by asking about, the soundbite we played yesterday of Ron DeSantis talking about Donald Trump and his...
I'll remember that chapter of my life forever. We laughed.
Our girl Flo.
We protected that progressive home and auto bundle day and night. We left our blood, sweat, and tears on that yard. Okay. Well, Jamie did anyway.
You've seen me in countless TV shows and movies.
This reminds me of Wolf of Wall Street, where he was dancing. That scene where he was dancing.
What is my name?
He was killing it. He was like...
Aren't you in... Probably. What people...
Y'all know what I'm talking about? He was killing it.
Legal problems, and that is where Piers started and got Mr. DeSantis talking about the former president.
You did a press conference this morning and you were responding to the reports, rumors of Donald Trump potentially being indicted. And you gave an interesting response, very sort of supportive of him in a way, by saying, yeah, I think what's happening there is outrageous. It's political posturing by the SDA and so on in New York, and they should be focused on more important things.
Piers Morgan.
You didn't have any knowledge of
funny guy.
Hush money being paid to porn stars. Was I right to feel that there was a slightly censorious tone to that kind of thing is just not anything you would ever get involved with?
Well, I think there's a lot of speculation about what the underlying conduct is. That is purported to be it. And, the reality is that's just outside my wheelhouse. I mean, that's just not something that I can speak to. So, I hope it doesn't come to where
like
you
a
end
true
up seeing this
politician.
going forward. I mean, look, if you are a very strident prosecutor, and this guy's on the left, and you're not prosecuting a lot of crimes, Manhattan's gotten less safe, you're going to go after somebody on the other side for some novel offense. That just does not inspire confidence, and people see that as weaponizing the justice system. So I think it's fundamentally wrong to do that, and I just made it be known. But we'll see. Maybe it won't.
So I think that there's a deeper meaning to really get from this. Yes, it's about Trump. Yes, somebody was probably grabbing some booty and paying off hush money. I think this really comes, like he said, about about what we're seeing here is possibly there's two sides of it. I think there's either you hold Donald Trump accountable, no one can hide from the law. It doesn't matter if you're president, if you were president, if you're running for president and everything like that. Now it's just your time. And there's also that side that's like, this is them using the law or them using, their police power, I guess, judicial power to kind of, hurt the Republican Party or kind of, get rid of Donald Trump. Almost like using, this as a form of political power against the Republican Party and everything like that. So it kind of comes to that type of thing, that type of balance, which is, I think, a very interesting thing to way to think about it.
Won't come to that. I mean, we haven't seen anything firm yet.
Pierce asked him about his nicknames, and he said, you can call me anything. Just make sure you call me a winner. Look what I've done down in Florida.
It sounded like he preferred DeSanctimonious, though. He said it has a lot of vowels. It's hard to spell, but just to
I really don't know what it means.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, but just don't say I'm not a winner.
So what's very interesting is people have said, speculated on the side, if he waits 2 months for his legislative session to be over, Donald Trump could imprint him in any way he wanted. Where these nicknames are not answered, if the attacks are not countered, by the time he decides the legislative session's done and I'm going to be a candidate and it looks like a fait accompli, it might be too late. And I think that's what it seems to have emerged yesterday, because he could have ducked that questions like he's ducked others, but he dug in. And he dug in again, too, because he said, look, I know I could beat Joe Biden, and that should be the focus. Listen.
You could beat Biden?
I think so.
So you're running then?
No, I didn't say that. I just said I think I could. I mean, I think that's. I mean, if you look at Florida,
who would be harder to beat, Biden or Donald Trump?
I don't know.
Keep in mind, he hasn't gotten in the race yet, and I think from
Probably
a Republican
Donald Trump.
standpoint, when you talk to Republicans, they don't like the
Biden been
fighting.
sleep.
They know
Really
it's
sleep.
happen. They know, primaries right around the corner.
Imagine
They're gonna have
Biden
lots
in
of
a
people that
debate
jump in
right
this
now.
race, and that's
That
what's
would be
gonna happen.
embarrassing.
But I think he was very measured.
Imagine
He wanted to
Biden
get
in
the
a
point across that
2024
I don't have
presidential
experience
debate.
with
We still
paying
got a little
porn
time, too.
stars.
You're gonna get a little
So that was a
old.
dig.
Older,
But they've been digging back and forth on social media. But I think overall, it was more, like what you said, Brian, it was more overall, I can beat Biden.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
I don't know if I can keep my powder dry much longer.
Well, here's the thing, and DeSantis has a plan, and we all know he's going to run. But what he said is he's going to wait, and he said it on this program as well.
We all know this man is going to run.
Legislative session
So
down
he
in
has more
Florida.
power, and he can veto.
Especially look at what Trump's going through right now. This man's definitely going to run. This man Trump going to be in jail.
And that is, hey,
he probably not going to be.
I was reelected,
but you know what I'm saying.
That is big, and he's going to go forward with that. But then he's going to say, look, once he declares, he's going to say, look what we did in Florida. We were able to do this, and this. And I know that a lot of people across the country would like us to do that for America. And that is why I'm running for president of the United States. He wants more of a record that he can run on as president. He's going to keep his powder dry until then. But clearly, he's going to give
he
Donald
may not
Trump
want
a
to
run
be
for
paying
money.
no peace stars, no hush money. That'll keep him there.
This indictment will backfire on him. Do you think people,
as long as he doesn't mess up presidents, he should be his.
Well, Trump, I think, was brilliant to come out over the weekend and say, look, this is probably, the legal people probably say, listen, this is going to happen. He goes, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm going to get on the offensive. I'm getting in front of it. I'm going to put them on defensive. I'm going to make them have emergency meetings on a Sunday. I'm going to let I want that grand jury to feel the pressure. And then Bill Costello Costello, Bob Costello,
I think that's
going
what
in there
happened,
speaking
too.
and saying, catching Mike Cohen again lying about releasing him from his attorney-client privilege. Because are you kidding me? You just...
I think, guys, now that we have a look at this into the future, I think we can kind of determine that this was low-key a Trump W. Like, this was definitely a Trump W. Because I do kind of feel what he's saying, even though this guy's kind of annoying. Like, basically, Trump was probably going to go to jail. Like, he was probably going to go to jail until he hopped on Twitter and said, hey, guys, I'm going to be going to jail. I'm going to be getting arrested on Tuesday. And then that started all types of problems. Then they had to worry about, oh, man, like the safety of the people. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. And then all of these other facts had to start getting thrown in the mix. The media started getting into it more and everything like that. It started making a way more sticky situation. And what's happening? Trump's not in jail. Because let's keep it real here. Trump is used to that silver spoon. Like he's a tough guy, but he ain't trying to go to jail. Trust me. Like, he ain't trying to go to jail.
Lied about it again, and that's who you're depending it on. And when Van Jones of CNN comes out and says, I'm pretty sure he should rethink this, I think they understand what's going on here. Look at this poll. It's a tracking poll, Morning Consult tracking poll, but it's significant. Trump up by almost double on DeSantis. Everybody else in single digits, including Vivek Ramaswamy, and most of those people aren't even in yet. Tim Scott not in yet. Pompeo not in yet.
So Trump will win if
obviously DeSantis.
Yeah, only three.
If he runs. If he doesn't, DeSantis
so
definitely.
Here's what's
that.
happening. We don't know whether or not Donald Trump's going to get indicted today or not. But one of the things we've seen is with his Truth Social all cap stuff, and as Mark Meredith depicted it a moment ago, it's nonstop. It's reminding a lot of people, particularly the independents, about things that Donald Trump did when he was president of the United States. They liked his policy. They just didn't like that angle. And the chaos is coming back, and you got to figure that will take a toll somehow on polling.
Yeah, but then also you look at what's happening, and are they using politics to interfere in this election? You know, he's running in 2024.
Well, it's the state people. It's not the feds. Yeah. It's the state guy.
Well, Pierce's interview, you can catch it. It drops tomorrow on Fox Nation. It's Piers Morgan Uncensored if you want to see the full run.
All right, so guys, definitely check out that whole interview if you guys want to check out that. I think it's very interesting. I think there's a lot here. Like I said, I think it was a very good move by Trump, especially if he thought he was actually going to be arrested on Tuesday. To come out and say, hey guys, rally, like, you know what I'm saying? Because no one wants conflict from this. Everything like that. That's going to make everything look bad. He made the whole situation a lot more complicated with that. I guess not a tweet, but a truth social. I don't know what they would call it. He sent out a truth. Like, is that what he did? He sent out a truth. But yeah, I think that was a very smart move. And I think this really, what I want to know from you guys in the comments and everything like that is, do you guys think this is Trump actually being held accountable for something that he did in the past? Or do you think this is a political play to get Trump off of the Republican candidacy? Because if he is, he probably will beat Joe Biden because Joe Biden be sleep. That's what I want to know. Like, which side are you guys? How you guys feel about that? Obviously, be respectful in the comments and everything like that. It's been a great stream, guys. I've had a really good time with you guys. I'm definitely going to be back on tomorrow. I've just been getting used to this, and you guys have been getting used to it for me. I appreciate everybody who popped in and everything like that. And I hope you guys all have an amazing day.